actually in New York until it's across the river.
Hey, Mark, look at the tower on the right. What is that?
Yeah, that's. Oh my God. There it is.
I've seen so many movies. So many movies.
Now it's for real. Which one? That's Freedom Tower. That's the new World Trade Center. Don't call it that. World Trade Center. That's the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere.
Where's that first building?
That's the one over there. That's the pointing.
Wait.
Wow.
That's the Empire State Building.
Wow.
Oh, it's the Freedom Tower, the big square one.
That's the Freedom Tower.
That is Freedom Tower. The tallest building in the Western Hemisphere.
Oh my God, this is everywhere. It's everywhere.
The big square one.
Oh my God. It's satisfying. Oh my God. It's called architecture.
Budweiser factory. Oh, that's pretty big.
I remember the one time ago when I went, it was like
This island of Manhattan that we're going on, you see these names, Hoboken and Secaucus and all this. The only people that inhabited this island originally, of course, were Indians, the Lenape Indians. And the first guy to discover this island was a British man who was sent over by the Dutch East India Trading Company. He was supposed to find a shortcut between Europe and the Orient so they could have trade easier. But what happened was he came over on his ship, he saw the bottom of this island, and he thought, hey, wait a minute, there's a little river going up here, I'll see how far that goes. Well, he went up the little river on his ship, and it dead-ended in what is now Albany, the capital of New York. So he turned around, he came back down a little dismayed, except that along the way, what he saw on this island, which is now rock and cement, he saw a lot of trees, but he saw bears and beavers and rabbits, a lot of animals. So he reported back that although it wasn't a shortcut to the Orient, they would make a lot of money if they opened a trading post on this little island and started selling the pelts of these animals, which is exactly what happened. It became very prosperous, obviously. So the Dutch came over, and a year later, a guy from that was Dutch came over, and he decided, hey, I'm going to buy this island from the Indians. Peter Minuet was his name. And he made a deal with these Indians. He said, I'll give you all these trinkets and all this wonderful little stuff and $24. And the Indians went, hey, cool. They'd never traded or shopped or done anything, so they thought they got a deal. $24 and a lot of little shiny trinkets and things and some food. So I don't know who got the better deal. He bought the place for $24. As a matter of fact, that trading post was so successful that more people came over from Europe and started building a little community down on the tip of the island. And so much so, there was nothing really for them to do at night, so they started cooking booze, so to speak. They had breweries going right and left. And then there was a lot of fighting that happened and a lot of boredom that happened. So then a fella came over, he became the governor. He was appointed the governor of this little area of Manhattan. And he made two rules. He said, okay, we can't drink in the streets here anymore, and we can't fight in the streets here anymore. And that settled down the island itself. Many years came down, and that today is called Wall Street.
Called it.
So there's a reason for everything.
Too, yeah.
We're not very creative with our names sometimes of streets, but they have a purpose. Water under it, so we're going to go under it. Through the Lincoln Tunnel, it looks like here, and it'll drop us right into the area of Manhattan called Hell's Kitchen. You heard of Hell's Kitchen?
Well, that's.
Well, it was called that for a reason. It was full of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and the architecture, everything was falling apart. That's also where the theater district was. So the Disney people, along with the mayor of New York City in the 80s, said, wait a minute, we've got to get some more people coming into this island. So what they did is Walt Disney's company came in and cleaned up Hell's Kitchen and cleaned up the theater district. They took away all the porno houses, and they started building legitimate houses and moving things around. And now, today, it's a very family-oriented recreational area. But originally it was called Hell's Kitchen for a real good reason.
Somebody take care of that, please.
Where?
Yeah, it was on a sign back there, and I mentioned it. No one listened.
It's the same size.
I know.
Sorry.
Has anybody ever been here before? One person, two people, three people, four people, five people. Oh, great. So it's no big deal. You know where you're going. Oh, maybe a little. This Times Square area, this theater district that we're going into, there's a lot going on. I think we're going to drop off at 8th Avenue and 44th Street, which is why I brought that up. So we'll go to 8th Avenue and 44th Street, and a block east of that is the Times Square area. And I'll walk into Times Square, and then you can find something to eat. There are a lot of choices. Every single fast food you've ever heard of will be there. And some you haven't, and some you never will hear of again. Look at these fabulous houses up here on the hill. This is New Jersey. This is Weehawken, another Indian name. It looks directly over the Hudson River and into the island of Manhattan. And this is one of the best views we're about to see on the left. So you might want to think about your camera. If you look out to your left after we get past these rocks, this is the best view of the island of Manhattan. Look at this. There it is, and it keeps going and going and going and going. That tall building in front of us with the spire, that's the Empire State Building. That was the tallest building for 40 years. It went up in 1931, and then they built the World Trade Towers. When the World Trade Towers went down, it then became the tallest building again. And then, when they built the #1 World Trade, this new tall building, it's now the tallest building. It's the #1 World Trade. It's 1,776 feet high, 1776. Does that ring a bell with anybody? Yeah. They did that on purpose.
We're in the tunnel.
We're almost there, folks, when we get past this tunnel. So if you haven't signed it, come to me and I'll get that paper and we'll just work it out, okay?
Yeah.
We don't want you to starve to death.
Under the sea, darling, it's better down when it's wetter. Take it from me.
Under the tunnel.
Under the tunnel, that's right.
We're under the tunnel.
Yeah.
So many.
Whoa.
7 times.
Definitely at least 8 tiles.
Guys, you're all so stupid. There's 9 tiles in here.
That's what I just said.
You know what'd be cool? What if, like, tunnels with like built-in car washes. It's like complimentary.
Everyone was watching the walls are closing.
Honey, the car's moving. You keep the car through the tunnel today. Honey, I took the tunnel last week. Wait, what happened? Why? You're gonna say wow as soon as we get out.
Wow.
Catherine says that when I was little, I used to cry like.
Do it again.
That's quite
All right, folks. Welcome to Manhattan. I can see the light. Woo! All right. It can only look up from here. Literally. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Now we're going to turn around and go back. There you go, folks. We made it. This is all the Hell's Kitchen area. Look how it's changed from what you've heard of. This is all Hell's Kitchen. These new high-rises behind us are relatively new for the past 3 or 4 years. They've all come up. There's one set of red brick high-rises on 42nd Street and 9th Avenue. There's like twins. And these huge high-rises were built about 40 years ago. Nobody wanted to live here because it was so dangerous, except for artists. Artists are good, so they came down because the rent was cheap, and they moved into these red brick buildings. And now, excuse me, now they're just for artists. It's subsidized housing for artists.
Wait,
Yeah.
when we were getting McDonald's,
Coming
this
up.
is what I had to tell you. You guys, like, you guys only here.
Thank you.
He started. I don't know. He's like, one of the drivers. You're hard. I was like, sorry.
The Highland Tunnel's south, down by Wall Street area. This is we just came through the Lincoln Tunnel. We're on the west side of Manhattan.
Go back.
Folks, when we get off, I want you to get your eyes set on where we are, because that's where we're going to meet the bus later. We're not getting off quite yet, but probably I'd say in the next 5-10 minutes. So get just your eyes sort of glued to where we are at this point. Take some mental notes, and I'll let you know exactly where we are when we stop. That's their tennis court. It's subsidized housing. They only pay 30% of their income in rent. But they have tennis courts and a swimming pool. Pretty good, huh? That's what happens all over Manhattan, and I'm sure all over the world, is that the places that they can't rent or sell, artists move in. They lower the price and artists move in because they're cheaper. And the artists come into the neighborhood and class up the joint. They start shops and they start restaurants, and so that's what happened to Hell's Kitchen. The artists came, created a place. Now everybody wants to be here. Well, maybe not right here, but in this area.
Alright, this is way too much to look at.
Wait, come on,
They get larger. Somebody just said that's a very large building. They get larger. There are only certain parts in Manhattan where there's an ordinance you can't build higher than a certain certain number.
Where's the popo?
There's a popo box right there.
Oh, that's popo, man.
They can't do it.
New York's finest.
They
right
cannot do it.
There's the popo.
There. I like to imagine. continue with this. Or to buy drinks, like soft drinks that are above a certain size in New York City. Like,
Seriously?
yeah. Like big gulps from 7-Eleven, you can't sell those in New York City proper.
Oh.
I think they repealed because Rudy Giuliani is looking out for your health.
Pretty sure we're blocking the
Water makes
box.
it fat.
I can't.
I don't think that law got passed.
But it's priced accordingly. Some people have little courtyards, yeah. Yeah. But over to the right and to the left, it's a complex of a lot of little theaters, off-Broadway theaters. A lot of new plays and things going on here.
A picture of the rare pickup in New York.
Yeah.
A picture of the rare pickup truck in New York.
It's so much easier when it's right side up. See all those people walking the streets over there? That'll be us. Wow. And in front of us on the right, and the right in front of us, that's those high rises that are the subsidized housing. To the left, there are also theaters, and there are new high rises going up. The one cool thing about New York is within one building, you've got apartments, you've usually got a bank, a grocery store, a couple of stores, and a parking garage. Over there where it says up to a half hour, $8.45. That means $8.45 for 30 minutes. That's what the parking means. All right, here we are. Yippee! Welcome to 42nd Street. The crossroads of the world's coming up here in the front of us. I know, yeehaw. Exactly. Oh no, or yeehaw, depending on what mood you're in, I guess. We got a movie theater up here, the Regal on the left. On the other side of it, there's another movie theater that's got, I think, 25 movies in it. And if your movie's not playing on the right side, you walk over to the Regal, and there's another 20 playing over there. So, if you need to see a movie, it's right here. Okay. 8th. Right. The next street will be 8th. 8th Avenue. 42nd Street and 8th Avenue is what we're coming up upon.
Tourists.
Yep, so we're...
44th at 10 to 2.
Steve, you're bigger than they are. Don't let them
44th at 10 to
intimidate
2.
you.
Yeah, 8th and 44th at
That's it, that's right.
One nice thing about being a big guy. People don't scare me as much.
There's a Madame Trousseau's ahead of us. The big hand on top of there, on the right.
I scare people as much as they scare me.
That's the best. Look at all these people, folks. This is what you're going to be walking through. Look at this crowd on the right. Look at the crowd on the left. Up ahead. Sorry. Up ahead on the right and up ahead on the left. This is what you're going to be walking through. So you cannot walk 4 or 5 side by side. You'll get run right over. So you have to walk sort of in a straight line with 3 or 4 people at the most, side by side. Just so you know. If you take up the sidewalk, they'll run you down.
Donuts, I know what that is.
Okay.
Remember to look for the blue A's.
It's like a donut connection.
Oh yeah, look for the
Okay.
Blu-rays
Do you want to tell them what you're...
There's one.
at Dunkin' Donuts.
Because it is so busy right now, we're going to say groups of 3 and 4, not just the 2 of you. So if you have a group of 2, remember again, no alleys, no side streets,
Alleys are fun. No back rooms.
no parking lots.
Yeah. No shady deals.
Yeah.
They offer candy.
These people, this is an everyday occurrence. At night there are more because it's the weekend.
No prostitutes either, guys.
There are Broadway theaters up here to the right and to the left. So we're right in the heart of it, folks.
Oh, that's stylish.
What carnation? Is that like a vendorless hot dogs? Just grab a hot dog.
He's there somewhere.
If you look at the perspective when you stand in the street at all these high buildings, they passed another ordinance where you can't build a high-rise building straight up in the air because it would block the sun. There, I see a bus, our bus stopped up there ahead of us. We're going to try and pull up behind them. This is 43rd Street and 8th Avenue. The next one will be 44th Street and 8th Avenue. Look what's around you, folks. Look at the different things. You've got some scaffolding over here on the right, so keep that in mind. Okay. Leon Davis is also the second name of 43rd Street. It's also called Leon Davis Street. Look over there to the left at the posters. It says Second Stage Theater in orange. Sex with Strangers is one of their plays. The Substance of Fire is another one of their plays. You're going to be standing and meeting us over here right in front of those posters, but on the opposite side of the street, okay? So Shake Shack. Take notes where we are, folks.
Starbucks. Except there's a Starbucks at every corner. Meet up here after.
My guys saying we have to follow. I think. Otherwise, we have a 5-block lead.
Go your banana.
I like it. I forgot why. Stand with the office and go watch it.
Broadway players come to his masses. He also served your
Oh, no, it's gonna go. It's such a,
Yo, I honestly thought that there would be like it would be like wider. I guess I don't know why. There's just like a lot of stuff in the middle here, isn't there? Yes. Yes.
oh, look at that, the R. You can see that. You got to.
Look at that. There's like different cartoon characters on all the things.
Oh, I see. Alright, what's that? Alright. They have their own ideas.
Put this on YouTube. I hope it doesn't get in trouble for copyright.
Is the home of NBC. Basically, that's their major tenant. But it's 19 different buildings. Christie's Auction House is one of them. Simon & Schuster Publishing is another. This is where you see the Christmas in New York Christmas tree go up every year, right here at Rockefeller Center. The John D. Rockefeller Jr., guy with a whole lot of money, bought the land in about 1928. And Columbia University had owned it. He bought this land and he wanted to build a complex that was the first complex that incorporated both the Rock, which is a fabulous view of all of Manhattan. When John D. Rockefeller invested in this joint, he knocked down about 280 places to live, small little living spaces, to build these 19 wonderful Art Deco buildings. which sounds like a really rotten thing to do, to throw all these people out and make them homeless. However, it was during the Great Depression. He set over 7,500 people to work. So he turned out to be a real good guy. And this is a fabulous complex. So there's a lot to do, but we're going to have to little hang tight because we don't have that much time. But we're going to go first to the cathedral and then walk through the plaza and see some stuff. There is an NBC store, all NBC shows and things. And if you look out and up to the left on the flagpole there, you see a big camera. It says NYPD surveillance. Smile, you're on candid camera all over New York City. We have a very tight security system here, especially after 9/11. It got tighter. Linda, which is an organ. It's a double organ. Each organ weighs about 2.5 tons.
Made out of minifigures.
When we all gather, I'll tell you a little bit. Called the promenade, right? It's also the shopping area, or one of them. Okay. We're going this way. Going this way. Oh, wow. Yes, absolutely. You guys?
Tower is like the tallest place in the world.
That is smaller than Harper Tower.
Calm down.
I'm a big Matt Lauer fan, alright?
I didn't know who that is.
Look at that bathtub.
It's probably something Captain Lee about it.
Magic happens.
Nice. Is that a fish tank?
Wait a second. Yeah, that's the studio.
No, what that guy's holding.
Somebody stay there with me.
We don't have enough time for pictures.
When you perform an NBC show, you gotta go through security right in this hall. Here's security. You're performing the next NBC show, you gotta go through security right here. Men on the right, women on the left at the end of this room.
here back in 1933 and 31.
My ears. Yeah, my ears. Yeah. Wow. Do you need one?
We're on floor 450. We're on floor 450. Oh gosh.
Welcome to Top of the Rock.
Why aren't we? I don't. Oh gosh.
I don't know what
At first.
Some people, really rich guys.
Let's go. Let's learn.
All right, this is the general buffet call. If I missed your table, if you're sitting down and you have not been up to the buffet, help yourself to the buffet. I think we've got everybody to the buffet line. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed our tribute to the Statue of Liberty in New York City. If you remember the photos you took when you first came on the boat, the photographers will be set up right down here at the end of the buffet. If you'd like to go check out those photos. Got requested music by the Eagles right now. As we get through this song, we'll see we got some dancers out there. Well, let's have some fun today.
It's just got so much better.
That's where that phrase came from. Because that Flatiron building was a pocket of wind, creating a pocket. Right now, Vietnam, that boat has been everywhere, and now it's parked here.
Well, it was built
Yeah.
Smells like the Navy.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Starting now at our cases on stage with our military demonstration, live in the back.
So if say the door opened or somebody went out and was properly sitting. So we have a few things around the table that we're going to demonstrate what happens.
Wow, with this. I want to melt in the middle. Hot in here. We should like go through a little bit.
We can play the faster, you can have more time.
Hurry up, let's have wait there.
Some other scenarios over there. Because I had all mine.
Probably gonna be like 3-4 hours before. Yeah, I know.
What is that up there?
Maybe it'll become music and go to New York all the time.
It's a band? If I took a bunch of pictures and I slide through them really fast, it'll stick right there. It's like an action shot. Goodbye, Lincoln Love Tunnel. I'll never see you again.
Yeah, you will.
The next time you see New York, when you're famous.